Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Tiny Brains podcast. I'm Kevin Joyce, CEO at Tiny Brains, and with me is Peter Graham, the Brigadier of Brains at Tiny Brains.
Hello all.
So, before we dive in this week, just a quick one. I am going to be at the VR AR Expo China this week, sorry. So, if you're in Shanghai, make sure you reach out. Let's meet for a coffee, have a chat, tell me all about your VR experiences. Love to meet at the show. But for now, let's dive into the news from the previous week. And we're going to start with a worrying issue.
I think it's kind of sticking on trend. Pimax have recently launched their new flagship VR headsets, the Crystal Super. And while there wasn't a massive amount of noise for this headset, you know, Pimax aficionados have been looking forward to it. And early adopters have now started receiving their headsets, thankfully. And there have been a few reported issues. And we kind of like usually a little bit expect this with Pimax. So there's been a range of reported issues that Pimax users have said. So they've they've not all experienced the same thing. They've all experienced slightly different things in varying levels. So let's roll off some of those. There are inaccuracies in the automatic IPD adjustment. That's the interpupillary distance for your eyes. Some people have reported oversaturated colors in certain VR games. Some people have reported downgraded audio quality in comparison to the original Crystal. They've been getting like 16-bit audio quality rather than 24-bit. Some people have reported controller tracking drift, for example, and also poor microphone quality. So there are a range of issues that Pimax are trying to sort out, and they have said that they are working flat out to try and address these issues, but it's not great, right out the gate, is it?
Not for such an expensive headset as well.
No, this is a £1,500 headset or thereabouts.
Yeah, I mean, Pimax are they're a niche within a niche, right? But they do have a strong following, albeit niche. That they have a strong audience of fans that love their products and will continually buy because they are top tier VR headsets. Not necessarily the highest you can get, but certainly for consumers, they are in that top tier bracket. And so it's disappointing that a lot of their consumers are disappointed with this latest product.
Yeah, yeah. But hopefully, with it being the flagship headset, Pimax are going to roll out software updates. They have said they've rolled it out. They've rolled out a small one for the audio issue or addressing some of the audio issues. But how many of these things can be done via a software patch is unknown. Um, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, not too many more arise.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get a Crystal Super, you probably already have invested. I don't see this being a product that it's not a impulse purchase, is it? So I imagine they are going to be concerned with addressing the audience that they have as soon as possible. So if you have bought one and you are disappointed, make sure you reach out to them. Hopefully, they'll turn around a solution soon.
Yeah, their support seems to be on point at the moment. At the t
So, so moving on, we've got some combat waffle news.
Yes, these are the guys behind the super popular Ghost of Tabor. So you've probably already played the game. The tactical military shooter has been superbly popular. And like a lot of these tactical shooters, like COD, like CS:GO, on PCs and consoles, you do get a few cheaters. And so Combat Waffle have been working on an anti-cheat system called Tomahawk, which they've been rolling out, and then they announced over on LinkedIn that they've had some success combating a lot of cheaters in Ghost of Tabor, which is great news. But I also didn't realize there was that many cheaters in. Maybe I'm naive to think that I thought like the guns you would hold and like you could shoot and it was a far more manual experience and like the sort of aim lock systems that you get on flat screen. But there we go. I'm new to this cheating system.
I personally think that this announcement was tied in with the launch on PSVR 2 because it is a well-known fact that when you have crossplay between PC and console, it is much easier to get cheat systems on PC. And I think that may have been a fear of many PlayStation 5 owners wanting to play Ghost of Tabor. This is an effort to alleviate that to ensure that Ghost of Tabor has a successful launch on PSVR 2. I'm
Right.
not saying that it's a bad system. I'm just saying that the timing is certainly, hey guys, on console, you're not going to be disadvantaged.
Right, exactly. And due to the success of the game, I think it's something they're really keen on stamping out on. There are cheater communities out there that they noted they've had particular success with stopping thousands of cheaters. So they're doing well so far. But also the fact that Ghost of Tabor they've recently announced that it's hit 1 million units in terms of its sales. Well, 1 million units, sorry, but 30 million in revenue which is very good going for
Well done. Yeah, congratulations.
shooter. But also, I also expect these anti-cheat systems to maybe roll out to their other games as well, because they've currently got in early access Silent North. If you play that, that's zombie survival, and another kind of survival game called Grim as well.
Yeah, I expect we'll see more of this in the future from many different studios, and maybe Combat Waffle down the line will license out this anti-cheat system for other multiplayer games.
Yes.
It's not unheard of, so good luck to them if you're building a tech for that purpose. Moving on, we have some Niantic news, hot on the heels of getting rid of their super popular money-making AR application. They're doing other stuff that seems a bit odd.
Well, yes, they've got rid of their super popular application, which we won't talk about because we wondered why they did it. But Niantic are teaming up with HTC to launch a game jam called Forge the Future because they're wanting more people to make AR games that they don't want to make anymore. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
odd.
this game jam starts on the 12th of May and runs through to the 30th of June. And they're essentially looking for, if you're a developer, you're a designer, if you're a student, you can join in and develop. What they're looking for is VR, AR, and cross-platform projects and ideas. And they're gonna help people out by giving access to Niantic Studio and through the Eighth Wall platform that Niantic has. So if you've got a good idea for a VR or maybe AR game, it's well worth signing up.
So, in the past, both Pete and I have run multiple game jams in collaboration with HTC. So, Niantic, if you need a hand, feel free to reach out. We have experience in this field.
Yeah, yeah. And some bonuses if you are successful on this, the winners will get some cash, which is always nice. If you actually get first place, you get $10,000. And then it drops down from there. But you'll also get fast tracked through to the Adviverse Creator Program, which HTC is currently running, which will get your game out into more places.
Yeah, very keen on that opportunity, certainly.
Yeah, there's some good prizes available.
So, we're moving on to some gaming news. We've got a couple of bits of gaming news, good and bad. What should we go with first, Pete?
Well, yeah, it's a kind of one in, one out for May, really.
Yeah.
So we'll go with the bad and we'll end with good. So
Okay, so if you like your horror gaming, I'm sorry you're gonna have to wait. There's no spookiness coming to you this month.
no, there isn't. Well, not with this particular game. Slender: The Arrival VR has now been delayed. It was due out on the 13th of May, but it's now been pushed to late 2025. This is a game from Perp Games and Blue Isle Studios. Now, you may have heard of Slender: The Arrival because it was a flat screen game, so this is a port into VR, but it's also one that again that's been previously delayed. It was due out last September, and then it got delayed from there, and now it's been delayed again. Hopefully, this will be the last delay. And maybe they'll release it in September, October. It's a spooky game, so around
I
Halloween
was gonna
is
say, yeah, what do you reckon? Halloween now?
yeah, yeah. Well, they always seem to go. It was on the 13th of September and the 13th of May, so maybe the 13th of October.
We'll see soon enough, I'm sure. But it's a strange, very last minute announcement of a delay.
Yeah, yeah. They're working to they said the usual things, they're working to refine it and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, good luck. We hope to see your launch sooner rather than later. But a game that we are seeing sooner rather than later, Into the Radius 2.
Yes, this is a survival shooter from CM Games, and this came out of the blue, really. Well, I say out of the blue. It was announced, I think it was earlier this year, that they were planning to make a Quest port because it's already out on Steam early access. But there was no date. They just said, oh, it's going to come out in 2025, and literally they've given sort of 2 weeks notice that yep, it's coming out 21st of May on early access for Quest 3 and 3S. So no Quest 2. Um, which is a bit of a shame, but this is a very, latest generation survival shooter.
It is a very, very popular game on PC VR, and I expect it to be similarly so on MetaQuest. The fact that they're cutting out Quest 2, I mean, it's not the first game to have done that, and it won't be the last. Yeah, Quest 2 owners, sorry guys, time to upgrade, and MetaQuest 3S is fine. Just 3S is good. Jump into 3S.
Yeah, exactly. There always seems to be a deal going for it at the moment, doesn't there? So we've reported it on a number of times. Find that deal.
Indeed. Scope out a deal, get a MetaQuest 3S, get into the Radius 2, have a good time.
Woo!
Okay, well, thank you everybody for watching. That's all we've got time for this week. Once again, I'm going to be at the VR AR Expo in Shanghai
Lucky.
later on this week. So please do reach out. Let's have a chat. Tell me all about your AR, VR, XR experiences that you're working on. Thanks again. We'll see you all next week.